Hi and welcome again to this series of BounceBack, where we're asking you to spend an hour a day reflecting and reviewing your current coaching and your business, and to plan how we're going to be able to develop our business going forwards, improve as coaches, and be ready to bounce back as soon as we're able to get on the court. If you followed yesterday's presentation, we looked at how to assess and analyse a player, giving us grades from 1 to 10 of a different skill set for each player, looking at the physical, the technical, the tactical, and the mental side of the game. If you did the sheets from yesterday, you should now have scores of the current levels of your players with all those different skill sets, or the ones that you decided you wanted to use or adopt and adapt, and the level that you want to get that player to within a specific time frame. What we need to do though really is to narrow that down now and put it into a specific plan. So today we're going to have a look at how to set some simple goals and put those into a 12-week plan. So first of all, on the technical side, you should have done, if you've done the sheets yesterday, if you look at the scores that you've given your players, okay, we're looking at 3 goals, 1 strength and 2 weaknesses. It's very easy always to work on the weaknesses, but we do have to remember we need to develop the strengths as well. So we're going 2 to 1, 2 weaknesses and 1 strength. So look at the ones that have scored the highest and pick one of those as your strength. And then look at 2 of the lowest scores, and they are obviously the weaknesses. You then put into this plan here what those 3 things are: the current level depending on yesterday's chart, the level you want to get them to again on yesterday's chart, and the date that you're going to achieve that by. Remember, at the end of this we're going to come up with a 12-week plan, so when you're considering which skills to include, make sure those skills can be completed within 12 weeks. If they're a longer term goal, we don't need them in here now. So we're working on this 12-week plan. So we do this again, technically, tactically, physically, and mentally. So using those charts that you filled in yesterday, if you've done them just yourself, if maybe you've asked the players or the parents, as we discussed yesterday, to complete the same, come up with a general overview with each one, and then input that data into here. Once we've got that, we can then work on the 12-week plan. So you should have 3 goals physically, 3 goals technically, 3 goals tactically, and 3 goals mentally. So over the next 12 weeks, or 12 lessons, doesn't have to be weeks. If somebody's taking 2 or 3 lessons a week, then obviously they're going to get through this quicker. But we're now looking at making sure you're going to cover all those goals within that 12-week period. So the 3 goals for the physical side should be included obviously in that physical column, the first one. Highly unlikely you're going to improve to the level you need within 1 lesson, so they will repeat. We're looking for each one to be repeated 3 to 4 times over this 12-week period. Remember, combining strengths and weaknesses. The same then for the technical. What are the technical strengths? What are the technical weaknesses? Covering all of the 3 goals that you've set in this 12-week period with repeats. Again, the same tactical and the same on the mental side. Although we're repeating each of the skills more than once, we don't want to repeat exactly the same lesson, because that would then be boring for the kids. So mix up the physical, the technical, the tactical, and the mental. So make sure you're covering all the different elements, but never repeat the same lesson. So you're going to have a very clear picture here now of how to actually implement the 12-week overview based on the goals that you've set and based on the data that you did on your analysis sheets in the first place. Once you've got your 12-week overview, you can then put each one into specific lesson plans. You will have your 4 categories across the top. So remember, a lesson that we deliver always has the 4 elements. It starts with physical or footwork, And then we build on the technical element, and then how do we implement that technique tactically, and then always finishing with a competitive game that includes a mental skill. So the structure of the lesson remains the same. The order of the things that we teach him based on the goals, we're going to vary so it doesn't get boring for the kids. But this gives us a very clear plan, and for each lesson, you can then have the complete lesson plan behind that to tell you exactly what you're going to do during that lesson. So I hope you get a chance to use this. Please, as we've said before, spend an hour a day and look at how you can improve your coaching in your business. It is difficult times, and we're trying to stay positive, and we're trying to make sure we're ready to bounce back as soon as we're able. Until then, please stay safe and stay well. Cheers.